What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? August 10th, Cleveland. August 10th. We got football. We got football game tomorrow. We had one last week, the Hall of Fame game. We got football tomorrow. It's week 202 of the Voice of the Fans podcast, but it's August 10th, man. We got preseason football in full swing right now. Fantasy football on the verge, Cleveland. We still got some NBA topics. This New Jersey Nets, saga just continues to. I mean, is there going to be end? Is Kevin Durant going to shut up? Kevin Durant starting reminding me of petulant player 2007 went on a little whining spree.
Well, first off, Cam, it's where's Brooklyn at? It's not New Jersey no more. It's where's Brooklyn at?
Oh, did I say? I did say New Jersey. Yeah, you're right. It is Brooklyn. But Kevin Durant reminded me of a guy in 2007 went on a whining spree to every radio talk show in America that would listen to him whine and cry. He started to remind me of that guy. I think you know what I'm talking about. I had no names that need to be mentioned. But he's starting to sound like that guy, and I want to get your feedback, Cleveland, and what's going on and what we're seeing from him. But each and every week we start our show, Cleveland, with our numbers game. Today being August 10th, we're going to start with the number 10, and with it being week 202 of the Voice of the Fans podcast, we're going to use the number 2. So 10 and 2 are the numbers we're going with. When you think of number 10, who were the number best, or who first got in your mind, Cleveland?
Cam, who first comes to mind is, the great Seattle Storm, UConn, and Olympic basketball player Sue Bird. Is the first person that comes to mind. She just recently played her last home game regular season, at the Plymouth Pledge Arena, and it was quite historic. So she comes to mind first. Who wore best? Cam, I'm gonna get a little bit out of the box here. A guy that went to 4 straight Super Bowls and kind of revolutionized the game at the time with his scrambling ability from the quarterback position. That'd be Fran Tarkin.
Oh, man, you said out the box, man. I thought you were going to go with somebody like Lionel Messi or something like that. He probably wore that the best, and he's not the first person to come to mind, but I guess he's probably the richest to wear number 10, isn't he?
Well, I mean, you could also, with the 10 comes the, the legacy of, Diego Maradona before him and Pele before him. So, I mean, certainly if you wanted to go into the soccer realm, probably start with Pele and then work your way down. But, yeah, I was trying to stick to more, sports that were, covered a little bit more in the United States here.
I mean, well, this is the Voice of the Fans, man. There's no limit.
But it is the Voice of the Fans.
What we can talk about, man. Don't limit yourself, man. Don't limit my audience, our audience, about what they're capable of. This is all encompassing. This is all encompassing.
And that all encompassing, umbrella that you just, opened up. Well, then it would have to be Pele for sure. The greatest to wear it, yeah.
Man, I gotta keep reminding people what show he's on. I don't know what other show he's been. He's been spotting.
Excuse me for being so reticent to just limit the show to just what the United States audience wants to hear.
When we think of the number 2, Cleveland, when you first think of the number 2, there's many players you can think about. Couple from your alma mater. Let's see if you pick either one of those guys. But when you think of number 2, who are at number best, or who's the first person that comes to your mind?
Well, Cam, I've been watching The Captain on ESPN. And so
have you been watching? How you like it? I haven't turned it on yet.
I like The Captain. Yeah, it's pretty much like you would expect Jeter to be. So, yeah, he's the first person that comes to mind, and he with the 5 World Series, being the king of New York for as long as he was,
I think you were already bought in when they just said the name of the show, regardless of the content or who they were talking about. You were already bought in. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't expect to get a critical opinion from Mr. Cleveland.
I mean, I don't know. I know where you're trying to go with that, but I mean, it is the 5-time World Series champion, King of New York, Frank White,
See, see what
Derek
I'm
Jeter.
saying? He putting a whole lot on it, man. He putting a whole lot on it. So you think it's Derek Jeter, but not neither of your alma maters, neither person from your alma mater who Nate Robinson. I think he went. Well, Nate Robinson went to UW. Where'd you go to? Green Lake, Green River U? Is that where you went? I mean,
Wow. No, I graduated from the University of
I
Washington.
mean, you didn't know you ever heard of
None of
Isaiah
those other
Thomas?
schools that you aforementioned. And yes, I do realize and recognize the 3-time slam dunk champion, uh, Nate the Great Robinson, the great Jock Robinson. I realize that, but that wasn't the question. And I know how you like always try to throw the UW,
I
players
mean,
in
I'm just
there,
saying.
trying to make it like I don't recognize them, but that's not
Well,
what the
I mean,
question says.
clearly you don't. I mean, I'm just saying, clearly you
Not what
don't.
the question says. The question says who comes to your mind first and who worked the best. So unfortunately, although I have much respect for Nate Robinson, he doesn't fit either of those criteria. No.
Well, man, the NBA topics, the NBA, the championship, NBA finals, to the drafts. Uh, then we have summer league quickly thereafter. Now we get a little break in the lull of the season, and the gift that keeps on giving. Well, before we go there, is the other gift that keeps on giving is your Lakers. This Lakers melodrama, as the world turns, as you might say, should they give LeBron the max deal? Are they going to give LeBron the parachute contract to ruin the team or stifle the team as they did when number 24 was in his final stages, and they gave him what 2 years, 48 million, or was it 48 million for for the next 2 years? I think it was 48 and 52. Is that how they broke it down? Something to that effect. Were they really hamstring the roster, the team, the salary? Are we going to see the same thing, similar as we'd agree from a couple of weeks ago that it looks like we're going to see Russell Westbrook bow out like Allen Iverson did, a decade ago? Are we going to see the Lakers revisit history and overpay LeBron for the next 2 years?
Yes.
Oh, and you're so proud of that, aren't you? You're
No,
so
not really. I'm not
you
saying.
said it. You said
I'm
that
not
with
saying.
so much pride and conviction. Like you said, you're proud of that.
It's not a pride factor, Cam. You asked the question like, what are they going to do? And yes, they're going to overpay for LeBron James.
So, Jeannie Buss, has she learned her lesson? I mean,
I don't know if
at
there was
what
a
point
lesson. I don't know if there was a lesson to be learned because the consequence would be having a Laker team without Kobe Bryant on it, and nobody wanted that. The consequence of not paying
They weren't
LeBron what
any
he
better
wants
with Kobe.
is
They
LeBron
weren't any.
not being a Laker, and nobody wants that either. So overpaying is kind of a, it's subjective in how you feel about that.
So LeBron already had him by the short and curly.
Yes, if he so decided that he didn't, wanted to make this like a tough thing, like with regards to whether he would play somewhere else or not. Same way with Kobe. I mean, obviously he was free to go, but who wants to see Kobe Bryant leave the Los Angeles Lakers? Who wants to see LeBron James leave the Los Angeles Lakers? Nobody. I mean,
So, Mister,
there are other franchise players in other cities that would have the same leverage. I mean, who wants to see Steph Curry playing for the Utah Jazz? Nobody.
well, I mean, that ain't not gonna happen. But we can see LeBron go back to Cleveland. We can see LeBron go somewhere else. That's not beyond belief. Um, but let me ask you a question: how does GM Wonder, Clevie Wonder, make this Lakers Clippers better?
The Laker squad gets better when they trade for Kyrie Irving. That's when it gets better.
So what's hindering that? Kyrie says he wants to now stay in Brooklyn. He's good. Kyrie said he's good in Brooklyn. He doesn't. He can stay in Brooklyn. He doesn't need everybody to be fired.
Yeah, I mean August 10th. That's what Kyrie is saying. So I mean, let's wait till we get to August the 15th and see what we're still talking about.
Okay, but then in August 25th, we might be talking about the same thing. He might be saying everything's good again, or he wants to get back to L.A. I mean,
we'll give Bron an opportunity to get in his ear, like Bron is capable of doing, and we'll see what we can do.
Like he did with Westbrook, and has Westbrook firing his agent and whatnot.
That was up to him. I mean, obviously, they were having philosophical differences with regards to where his career was going and what he wanted to do. I mean, that's up to Mr. Westbrook. He's a league MVP, a walking triple double. So he's earned that right.
So you don't want him on your team no more? Was that?
Oh no, of course we want him on.
Was that your exit?
No. Of course. We will welcome him back.
You had kicked him out the door.
We will welcome him back with open arms if the Kyrie Irving trade doesn't happen.
There's contingencies. There's contingencies on whether you want him back or not. You just don't love him unconditionally. No. You just don't say come on back. You're on the squad. There's contingencies, huh?
Yeah, it's not unconditional.
Wow. Man, who would want to go to back to that type of environment?
He's a professional. Like I said, he's a league MVP.
Well, you guys are said to be professionals, and you guys just don't mistreat your players.
How is that mistreatment?
How is that mistreatment?
When you're going to give someone $47 million to play basketball, that there's no mistreatment there.
What do you mean there's no mistreatment there?
There's no mistreatment there.
The man can't even be comfortable and confident that he's going to be able to see his little kids off to school for the whole school season, because he doesn't know what this volatile GM might do, or the volatile, player GM, player coach, player agent, whatever.
Well, Cam, I think Russell Westbrook's play will dictate a lot of this if we get to that point. The hopes is that we have Kyrie Irving before the beginning of the season. If not, then Russell Westbrook will have to kick in and get a little bit closer to his MVP caliber play than he was last season.
So let me Mr. GM Clevie Wonder, how are you? Your hat's a little crooked. Do you want to fix your hat, Mr. GM? How are you? How are you handling the situation? What's that coming? Open the door, shed some light on the situation for the fans. How do you tell Russell? I mean, is he allowed to train at your facility?
Oh, sure. He's still a part of Laker Nation. He's still a part of the family. He's still a part of the squad. I mean, he's still a part of, the recipe for success with regards to winning a championship in 2023.
Oh, so have you communicated to him that you're fielding offers for him?
He already knows that.
And maybe no, I asked you, did you communicate? That's what I asked you, Mr. GM Clevie Wonder.
You don't have to communicate something that player already knows.
Well, I mean, to relieve anybody from any misunderstandings or
no, there's no misunderstanding. He already knows that.
So you say he already knows that. So when you guys were at the summer league, and he's coaching up the players on the sideline, did you find that odd because you already communicated that?
No, that's great. That's what we expect him to do. Because at present, he's still a Laker. He's still part of the family. He's still a significant part of Laker Nation. So until he's not, that's what he should be doing.
That's a bunch of PR spin. I didn't see LeBron do that. So LeBron not
You certainly did see LeBron do that. LeBron was at Summer League. You saw him.
I didn't see him coach any players up. I didn't see him go during the timeout. Go talk to the players.
He was doing other things. I mean, let's not worry about what LeBron not coaching up the Summer League players. Wow, is that like a detraction?
No, but you just said you just kind of you just said about Russell.
Okay, well, like, Russell Westbrook hasn't won a championship in purple and gold. LeBron James has done that. Okay.
Oh, you still counting that little faulty experiment they did in the bubble in Orlando?
Yes, championships count, no matter how you get them.
I mean, half the league wasn't even able to participate in that.
Hey man,
the
players and the teams that were there were under the same circumstances, and at the end of the day, the Los Angeles Lakers were victorious.
But you do remember like half the league wasn't. You do remember like half the league wasn't there.
Okay, well, hey man, everybody jumped in the bubble and did their thing, and at the end of the day,
no, but that's what I'm telling you. Everybody didn't jump in the bubble. That's what I'm telling you. Everybody.
All the playoff teams jump in the bubble.
It was just a select few.
Was there a playoff team missing that I didn't know about? Which playoff team was a playoff team and wasn't in the bubble, Cam?
Well,
if there's a playoff team that man, they were supposed to be there and didn't show up, let me know.
Because the environment was so different, each team wasn't able to be at their best and play at their best throughout.
Okay, well, whatever happened, just kind of like when the Spurs won their championship in that 50-game season or whatever. Great, There's been some teams that have been in situations wherein it wasn't ideal, and
listen to this.
The way everybody else typically wins it, but hey, man, it is what it is. It's a championship.
I want to call out the Spurs from 25 years
Somebody
ago.
won a Super Bowl when they were playing with scabs half the season. Somebody won a World Series when they played 144 games. I mean, what do you want me to say? The teams that were in the playoffs were there. They were there to win a championship, and they all were in the same environment. And the Los Angeles Lakers came out victorious.
Acknowledge that you have
were the Clippers in the bubble that year? I don't remember.
Again, the environment was so different and so unusual for a lot of these guys that bubble situation.
Okay, well, I guess they just weren't able to adapt in the same way the Los Angeles Lakers were, and the Los Angeles Lakers came out victorious and won a championship.
Well, you're not gonna move off that square, are you? So Russell, what do you do with Russell, man? And if he doesn't get traded, I mean, would you consider sitting him down for the season or sending him home like you did? Like Carmelo got sent home and T.O. got sent home. Would you send Russell home for the season?
No.
So you're gonna play the malcontent if it comes down to it, with LeBron, who doesn't work, who we already know doesn't work well together. That's what you're.
Well, hey man, give Coach Ham a chance to kind of develop a different culture, a different philosophy.
That's
get everybody on the same page.
Oh, Coach Darvin Ham's gonna make a big difference.
Maybe.
You don't believe that yourself, Cleveland. You never heard of Darvin.
Give him a chance.
You haven't heard it from Darvin Ham since you played with Milwaukee Bucks. So come on.
Give the man a chance to try and change the culture a little bit and try and get in Russell Westbrook's ear if he so happens to still be a Laker once the season starts, and get on the same page with everybody else, recognize the issues you had in the season past, and try and correct them going forward.
Okay, man. What any other NBA topics, man? Itching you. Did you see? I caught up in Summer League. I don't know. Did you see? I caught up with Ja Morant's dad, and we talked about Ja saying he cooked Jordan. Did you see that clip?
I did not see the Cook Jordan clip. I had heard that it had been somewhat misconstrued and taken out of context, so I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. I felt like he was just saying that he's uber competitive and doesn't think anybody could beat him if he's at the tip top of his game, and you should feel that way. So I didn't put too much credence into all that.
You oh, because yeah, that's right. You don't think MJ is like the cream of the crop. You think there's somebody else better than MJ somewhere. So you didn't put any credence into when the man says he cooked Jordan. You didn't think anything of that. Is that
I
what I'm
think
hearing?
I think that he was saying that in his mind, in his alter ego, that when he goes out as a competitor, he doesn't think that anybody is better than him, and he thinks he can cook anybody on the planet, which you should if you're uber competitive and have that type of skill set.
Like, yeah, I don't mind the bravado. I really don't. Let me see if I can pull this up for the fans. Let me see if I can pull this up for the fans. All right, Cleveland, let me know if you can hear this, buddy. Well, I'm pulling this up for the fans. Fans, here you go. This is John Morant, T. Morant. Can you hear that? Cleveland,
Can I hear that?
you cannot hear that, Cleveland?
No.
Okay, here we go. I think I made a mistake right here. All right, I made one mistake. One mistake I made, fans. Thank you for Cleveland. Thank you for letting me try this out here. I made one mistake though. One thing I didn't do is I did not share the audio, and that's why you can't hear me. Share your system. Share audio. Okay, share. Okay, let's try this. All right. Can you hear this, Cleveland?
Just barely, but I can't see it.
All right, the fans. Again, thank you guys for bearing with me. Cleveland says he can't see it. He sees it now. Um, and so I'm
So
going
that's
to.
what the chip on his shoulder
Got
thing.
it.
So and then he always had that don't want to lose, won't lose mentality. And that's what pretty much excelled him and propelled him to be who he is right now.
Okay.
I mean, you could tell that by what he say. He would cook Jordan.
Yeah.
And that's real life. That's really how he's geared.
Okay. Now, you're old enough
Right.
to have watched him take it down
Right.
and do it sin.
Right.
Yeah, did you have to say, come on, son?
Hey, no, we talking about on the other end.
Okay.
When Ja's on offense.
Right,
Ja
okay.
had the
Fair enough.
mindset that
Gotcha.
nobody can stop him one-on-one, and I
He's
love
supposed
it. Nobody can deal with that boy on the island.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You must have.
All right, there we go. Did you hear it, Cleveland?
I heard it.
Did you get it? You see your boy at work, boy.
He echoed the same sentiments I just said.
Getting exclusive.
He said the
coverage for you
exact
guys.
same thing I just said. He said the exact same thing I just said.
I mean, what did you just? Oh, here we go. What are you talking about? What did you just say?
He just said he's always had that mentality. He doesn't think anybody can stop him one-on-one, and that what is propels him to the level that he gets to because he feels that way. Now, whether it's rational or not is irregardless to the conversation. The mere fact that he feels that way means that you can't put anybody's name in front of him one-on-one.
And what do you think of that? It sounds like you like that. You like that approach. You like
I
that
like that approach. I want you to feel that way.
Right. All right, cool. Um, what else? What other NBA topics, man, on your mind, burning your heart, man, that you need to get off your chest?
I don't think really burning in my heart. There's a little bit of discord here in the 206 between a few players playing in the Jamal Crawford crossover league.
What happened?
It appears that DeJounte Murray and Paulo Banchero got into a little bit of Twitter beef. DeJounte thinking that Paulo has been caught up a little bit out here and a little bit too big for his britches, and a little bit on the soft side, and kind of kind of took it to him a little bit in the crossover league over the weekend.
Oh, so there was a backstory to that, huh?
There was, yeah, and quite a bit of it's been quite the controversy. It's been on Jalen and Jacoby, it's been on Sports Center, it's been all over the Twitter sphere. It's the first time we've really seen kind of, quote unquote beef between 206 ballers. So that was a little bit interesting. And, I didn't 100% disagree with what, Dejounte was saying. But at the same time, it's like you probably should keep that in house. He just made it very public and really tried to show out on Paulo at the crossover. So it was amazing.
All right, Cleveland. Just because you just brought that up, and I find it so interesting, I'm doing this. We're gonna have another break in, fans. We have another break in for the shared screen. Okay, Cleveland. So tell me what you think of this. All right. And this is the first time I'm hearing about this, so I appreciate you for bringing this up. Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh shit! I hit the wrong thing. Now I appreciate you for bringing this up because this is the first I'm hearing of this. And here we go. All right, Cleveland.
Between DeJounte Murray and the number 1 pick, Paolo Banchero. DeJounte had a lot to say.
Do not see the split spring. I kind of hear it.
Oh, they're going at him. Oh, they're talking BS. Oh wow. You cannot hear it? Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. All right, here we go. My bad. They're talking. I didn't see this. I didn't.
Things got chippy between DeJounte Murray and the number 1 pick, Paolo Banchero, and DeJounte had a lot to say.
That's what they came to see. Let's go. It's a man's league. He a little boy. I just said he's too young. He's too soft. He's too soft.
Let me explain what happened between these two, as well as James Harden and Scotty Barnes. What up, everybody? My name is Stefan. And
you didn't see the you should
The two guys went at it playing wise, but Murray was definitely
pass
showing
that
feistiness either
off
by
the glass
throwing the ball
off
at
the
Paolo.
glass and then threw the ball. Yeah,
That's
You
off the
saw
glass.
in that opening sequence
Oh,
how
he's
he
clowning.
literally barrels into the rookie
Oh,
for
he's
no
clowning.
reason whatsoever, and Banchero just tapped him on the chest as if to say it's all good. All of that led to this instant viral clip. The fake, the bounce off the backboard, and the dunk. I mean, this was a phenomenal move, but you see once again
And then
how he
afterwards-
throws the ball at Paolo. And the young fella did not respond to any of this. He did, however, notice something after the game and posted this on his story. LOL, unfollowed me on the gram and everything. It must be personal, huh? That's fine. Just make sure you guard up next time and stop sending doubles, family. And before we talk about the response from Murray, first I gotta mention that from what I saw from that game, this is 100% true. The rookie got double teamed multiple times, and in some situations, it was just to take the ball out of his hands. That was interesting to see in an offseason game like this. Murray then posts
That
his
is
story
crazy.
saying a bunch of nothing. Just look at this.
That's crazy.
You tried to flex that number 1 pick stuff on me when I've been rooting for you when you was a kid asking to.
All right, buddy. That's enough of this. That's pretty good beef, though. Cleveland, thanks for bringing that to the table. I didn't know that. Man. That's interesting how that's breaking down. What do you think? I mean, we're supposed to be a close knit family. Tyreek Eason or Tyree Eason, excuse me.
Tari Eason, Beauchamp. I mean, it's a small, close knit fraternity of 206 ballers, man. This is the first time it's really kind of gotten out of hand. I don't know if just DeJounte was feeling a lack of respect with regards to kind of what he's been able to accomplish in the league to this point, and kind of all of that's been, I don't want to say handed to Paulo kind of on a silver platter, but I think that Paulo is, for not to defend the dude, but I think he deserves it to a certain extent for what he's been able to do in a short period of time. But yeah, is he a little bit over his head? Is it a little bit sensationalized? Absolutely. That happens with every number 1 pick. You're anointed until you prove that you're not the guy.
Wow. So okay. So Murray came up. Where was Murray picked? Like number, he was in the teens, right? If I
Oh,
remember correctly, Murray was in the
he
teens.
was not anywhere near. You wouldn't even remember where he was picked. He was picked that low.
So so he's elevated himself. Now obviously he gets traded and signs a big deal in the past season. Gets traded. Now he's on a squad. But he's elevated himself to a premier guard in the league. You would say that, right?
Absolutely, All-Star last year, and the backcourt of him and Trey Young is supposed to be sensational in the East. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I still not quite sure how that's going to work out. He was in the first round. He was to number 29 overall. He was number 29 overall, DeJounte Murray is. So you think there might be a little animosity then? The
Like
veteran
I'm
wants to show up
saying,
the
this is the
rookie?
first time in the history of kind of like the 206 ballers that this has ever really kind of boiled to the surface to a point where there's like social media back and forth, and like even in pick up charity games, it's like it gets kind of serious. Like you have to prove a point. Kind of weird.
I mean, and well, I found it kind of weird that also, so obviously somebody recording the video was right behind DeJounte Murray, so he was probably somebody in his clique, right? And but they all them were saying the same thing. He's too small. We told you he's too small. He's not tough enough. Um, I just 206 on 206 crime is surprising when it's such a small group and you got
Yeah.
clearly he has to know who it is, right? I mean, he has to know who he is, and at some point they've had to kind of be on the same court together. But Murray had something to prove in that clip that we saw, so that was pretty interesting. Uh, thanks for bringing the light to that, and we'll have to see. Keep our eyes on the Orlando Magic and Atlanta Hawks rivalry because they're going to see each other 4 times a year. That's going to be
My
want
hope
to check
as
out, right?
as a 206 native, Cam, is that the Godfather, Mac Mall, Jamal Crawford is going to be able to step in and squash this, and we'll just move on. Let's not let this be a smoldering thing over the entire season. There's no need for that. Two Metro Conference players make it to the NBA. That's kind of a success story in and of itself, and let's not hate. Let's congratulate.
Interesting. That's I hear what you're saying, but I mean we gotta. This thing has legs, Cleveland. We gotta.
It
See
has
where this
legs. I mean, it could go sideways like really, really fast, and we'll just have to see, man. But it is a story for now. Hopefully, the story is diffused, and we can get back to just 206 ball in business.
You're live there. What's up, Ninja? Ninja's in the house. Ninja chimes in. Ninja's laughing at you again, Cleveland. He's laughing at you. He's laughing at you always. Um, I'm with you, Ninja.
Ninja knows what's up, man. Ninja knows what's up, man. He knows what I'm talking about.
He's laughing at you. That's you. He's laughing at you right there. We gonna hold that one. We gonna put a little star right by that one, Ninja. I feel you, Ninja. I feel you, buddy. So anyway, Cleveland, NBA topics, man. I think the NBA is going to be a hell of a season. We got the Clippers. We got Paul George got married a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's great.
Luke Kennard got married a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations. They're all settled down over there in Clipperland.
I mean, they're mature.
Yeah, maybe that'll add to their focus so they can play more cohesively as a team, as a unit, so maybe they can get past the second round.
You're not gonna be happy, buddy. This season, you're not gonna be happy.
Is Kawhi playing this season?
There's been Kawhi sightings. Kawhi in reform. The wife is treating him good. So he's
been
gonna be
Kawhi
nice and healthy.
sightings, you said. Like on the basketball court? You talking about?
Huh?
On the basketball court you're talking about?
Yeah, there's been Kawhi sightings. Yeah, working out.
Oh, okay, cool. So there's a chance he might play this season.
There's a chance. What do you mean? There's a chance he might win MVP this season. MVP, most valuable player of the NBA.
So you've heard someone say he's been cleared to play in games and stuff.
What are you talking about, man?
Is Kawhi Leonard going to play in NBA basketball games this season?
2022, yes.
Oh, okay.
You said,
you're in the know with these things. I mean, it's been up in the air to this point.
Not really. It's not really been up in the air.
Breaking that news, man.
It's not been up in the air.
Will play.
There was a chance that he was going to come back in the playoffs.
Okay, so Kawhi Leonard will play in some games.
He was ready to come back in the playoffs, and Jerry West said, "Kawhi, let's hold off right now."
Okay, so what you're saying is that Kawhi Leonard is going to play in some games in the 2022-2023 season.
What I'm saying is Kawhi Leonard is going to be in the MVP category in the 2022-2023 season.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be in top 4 MVP category.
So you got to play in a lot of games then.
Whatever it takes to be MVP category.
Well, I mean, you got to play in a lot of games to do that. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So there you go. So you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay. Well,
all right.
That's cool. It's better for. I mean, it's better for the Clippers. It's not. The league is indifferent because it just depends on he has that kind of demeanor and you never really know what to think about him. So
Ninja, I was just trying to give you some props, and then you come with this mess. You'd be surprised if he plays half the year. He's been out for a season, a whole year, whole calendar year.
He's done that. He's done that on numerous occasions, though, Cam. That's kind of what he does.
No, he's going to be good. He's going to be good for a deep playoff run. So you count on it. You guys book it.
Okay.
So I was going to get into some way too early predictions, NBA predictions, but I don't think you're quite ready for that. You're not up to that right now.
I have my opinions, so you're probably not up to it either.
So let's jump right into let's go to NFL, man. We got NFL's heating up. Roger Goodell came out and sternly said, I mean, did you hear Roger Goodell's comment? Do we need a break? You need a break, or you ready to go?
No, we can get through Roger Goodell's comments.
Roger Goodell, did you hear what he had to say at the owners' meeting?
Yeah.
Predatory behavior that we can't have. Uh-oh. I thought he might sneak away. Deshaun thought he might sneak away with a speeding ticket in all this. Oh no. Roger was just Roger's clearly a lawyer, and he used the best 45-second sound clip he can and broke it down and says the predatory behavior is such that we can't have an NFL. That says 12 games. Or excuse me, not 12 games. That sounds like a season to me. What does that sound like to you?
Well, I mean, Cam, again, the story of the past week has been the fact that the NFL had kind of, passed the buck to this impartial judge to take away the responsibility from the NFL for handing down these type of disciplinary actions. But now the decision is made and they don't like the way the decision goes down. So now they want the control back. So, there's, some hypocrisy there. But at the same time, on the surface, it certainly looks like it warranted more than 6 games of suspension, given what the evidence had shown. But, hey, man, you left it in the arbitrator's hands, and now you don't like the decision, so you take it out of the arbitrator's hands and give it to someone else to hopefully make a better decision that's more favorable for you, more than when, a decision that you agree with a little bit more than the last person. I mean, that's kind of,
in that scenario,
loser, right?
I didn't think about it, but is he kind of being tried twice if in that scenario? Like,
he absolutely is. He's being tried by, first of all, the appointed arbitrator to handle the situation.
Right.
And once
exactly.
the decision comes down, and the
Exactly.
Players Association said from the beginning that we will abide by whatever.
Yeah, because they got 6 games. They heard it was going to be 6 games. They're like, absolutely, we like that.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
okay,
so this is the person that you appointed, and whatever they say, all right, we're gonna, we'll go with like that. And then when the NFL didn't get their way, all of a sudden they want, like, oh no, we have to do this. We have to do this over again.
So yes, I think now that we talked this out, I think it's like he's being tried twice, and that's kind of unfair. Like, okay, mom may slap me on the shoulder for getting kicked out of school and getting suspended from school. So mom may slap me on the wrist, and the dad, dad may knock my block off. We don't know what's going to happen, but the both of them can't get their piece, can they? And
well, I mean, Cam, let's use a slightly different analogy, right? It's like, you were about to go off to Disneyland for 2 weeks, as a 4th grader, and then found out that you were, touching all the girls in class, and 25 of them came forward, and you apologized to all 25, and so
look at you.
You thought instead of going for 2 weeks, you was only going to get to go for 10 days, right? Because that's what the arbitrator said. And and then like you said, dad comes and is like, nah, man, he can't go at all. Like, he's got to miss the whole trip, man. At least this year. Like, we'll talk about it next year, but wow, you got to miss the whole trip.
Man, so that's. I was thinking it was going to be the 6 games because he kind of played. He didn't play. He did not play last season, so that game. That should have counted as some time served.
It's no retroactive punishment, man, because he wasn't even found under anything last year. They just
but he didn't play.
Sitting him out until this whole thing came
blew over. So
the whole thing came to a head. There's no you're not adding extra time onto what he had to go through the year before.
So he just sat out last year. So all this bluster about him last season, he could have played.
Could have.
Shame on Houston. Shame on.
I know. For listening to 25 girls, what's wrong with them?
So, what's the running back competition looking like for the Renton Rangers, man?
Great.
Yeah. What's Pete talking about?
Pete's talking about Rashard Penny as a starting running back, and Kenneth Walker's looking great in camp.
Kenneth Walker, will he be starting by the end of the season?
Depends on the health of Rashard Penny, which has always been a question, so I can't really answer that for you.
I mean, so are they going to wait? Are they going to go into the season? Are they going to wait till the last minute to sign Garoppolo or make a move for Garoppolo? What's the deal here?
Certainly hope so. Still got my fingers crossed, Cam. I'm still hearing that it's Geno Smith and Drew Lock throwing footballs around the field going into the season. That's still quite a scary thought.
I mean, they signed DK, but he can't be happy, man, with Geno Smith. And
he can be happy with the money that he made and the guaranteed salary, but his production on the field, it will not be, what it should be because he doesn't have anybody throwing it to him.
So, do you agree with Aaron Rodgers on the value of preseason games?
For someone that's played as many games as Aaron Rodgers, I understand his perspective 100%.
So do you think anything can be learned from the other players, seeing him prepare, seeing him get ready to play a game and actually play the game? Do you think anybody on his team can learn anything?
There's nothing that they can learn from playing in an NFL game by watching Aaron Rodgers play a preseason snap, or his preparation before a preseason game. Yeah, it won't be the same.
Do you think there's something that can be learned if the quarterback was Tom Brady?
No, another bad example.
How's that a bad example?
Because they played so many
it's actually an
games, and
awesome
they played so
example.
many games at such a high level that the preseason games don't mean anything, and there's nothing to be gained from it.
Well, except that Tom Brady prepared for every game like it's a Super Bowl, so his preparation isn't going to be any different.
It would be less than preseason game. Yes, it would.
No, not really.
Yeah,
Not
no,
one that
really.
not
No,
one
for
that
real.
he's playing in.
No,
Not
for real.
one that he's playing in.
No, for real. Even when he's playing in, it won't be the same.
No, he actually said it. So,
Yeah, but he didn't mean it.
yeah, but he didn't mean it. So you calling Tom Brady the golden boy a liar?
Yes, he doesn't prepare for
deception?
regular season games. I'm sorry, he doesn't prepare for preseason games the same way that he prepares for the Super Bowl. He'd like you to think that he prepares for every game exactly the same, but that's just not the truth.
Oh boy, I can't do it now. Shit. Let me see. I can't do this now. Let me see. Go ahead and filibuster Cleveland while I try to do something.
So Cam is trying to again express the importance of reps, the importance of camaraderie, the importance of team chemistry.
I didn't have to say much.
Preseason
I didn't have
for
to say
players
much.
that are in their 40s. This simply does not matter to them. They have been through 20 years of preseason games. They've played in what's that, fans? 60 preseason games. They understand that at the level that they're at and at the time that they're at, the preseason games have absolutely no meaning and value to them. Now, if you take someone like, for example, a Russell Wilson in his first season, well, it was the fourth preseason game that allowed him to showcase what he could do, in the future, which ultimately won him the starting job. Now, that's a rookie. So rookies should take preseason a lot differently than someone that's played in the league for 20 years and won multiple MVPs, which Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers both have done.
So you pointed out in that soliloquy that there is value in the preseason
for younger players. Yes.
I mean, that's so their value. Now you're just trying to classify the value that there is for who.
Yeah, no, the value is for younger players. It's not really so much for established players, and certainly not for players that have won multiple league MVPs, Super Bowls, and in their 20th season. There's really nothing to be gained from those.
Again, you don't think that him being out there
No, I don't.
is an example of kind of what
Nope.
it takes to be a professional?
No.
You don't think him getting ready for a game is an example of professionalism to some of the younger players in the NFL and on the team?
Nope.
So who would they look up to? Who would you ask the young players to look up to and emulate them? If you're going to sit out your veterans and your players who have played a long time, who are you asking the guys to sit up and play?
Well, Cam, for some of your younger players, you would be looking to someone that's kind of closer to their age and somewhat more peers of theirs that understand.
That is the worst duel in the league, by the way, Ninja. And here's Ninja. Okay, Ninja, I'm starting to think that Ninja's it must be Ninja Steel because he's. I mean, you guys.
Beautiful, beautiful Ninja. He understands what I'm saying.
I got to argue both of you guys. So yes, Kenny Pickett obviously is a rookie and needs to be out there playing.
It makes a significant difference. It's game speed. It's live action. It's
what? Repeat that. Is game speed is what?
Live action. It's an opponent that's not your roster that you've been practicing against for 6 weeks in a row. I mean,
so you're telling me there's no value. So when Aaron Rodgers loses his number one receiver, the number one receiver he's had for the last 5 years, he loses him. He's gone. There's no value in Aaron Rodgers working with his receiving core. There's no value in that. There's no value in him learning the routes of his young receiver. There's no value in that. Is that what you're telling me? There's no value in a young receiver learning how to be a professional wide receiver in an NFL with the 3-time MVP, league MVP. There's no value in that?
Does that in practice every day. There's no significant difference in a preseason game.
See, you know what, and I've known this now for, there you go, Ninja. You're coming around, Ninja. I just had again coaching both you guys up. So Cleveland is the individualist fans. Just to be 100% funky with you guys. Tennis star, similar to track star. I mean, they work out on their own. There's no team involvement. There's no. I don't even think he had a team where if he was in the 12th grade, there was somebody in the 10th grade on the same team, and then maybe a veteran, somebody in the college level that they can kind of learn and work and play off each other, learn different drills. I don't know how that plays out in tennis, but in the NFL, where there's actual teammates you have and you have to play with, you do have to understand what's going on with your partner. You do need to learn the cadence of what's going on when the quarterback is. And then you're trying to jump off. Now that receiver, because he hasn't heard that for 6 weeks, he's jumping off sides.
Cam, can I give you two?
When the offensive lineman, or when Aaron Rodgers goes up there and he saunters up to the line and then now you got people jumping and they're jumping off sides because they haven't heard this play call. They haven't heard this cadence before. There's a need for them.
Cam, I got two quick examples for you. Okay. Walter Jones and Brett Favre. Okay. Walter Jones signed the franchise center for 3 years in a row, did not play one preseason game. Showed up a week before the thing was about to start and Pro Bowled every year. Now, the question is, doesn't he need cohesion with the rest of his offensive line so everybody knows the same calls and everybody knows what to do? No. That dude was pushing around trucks in his driveway. Yeah, I'm in shape. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Went up there, signed, and played. Okay.
Wait, Brett
Favre was like, man, I don't even know if I'm going to play this year. For like 4 years in a row. All right, I'm going to play. Show up. They don't miss a beat, man. At that point in their career. I'm not talking about like the guy that just, like my man is saying, Kenny Pickett. Yeah, it's way more valuable.
But what I'm saying is what you're missing.
Nah, man, I'm tired of hearing your back and forth about like they need to hear his voice and they need to know what he sounds like. And no, they don't, man. They do that all day in practice. The preseason games don't matter to him. They matter to them. They're trying to make the team live. They're trying to prove they belong. Exactly. They're trying to prove he belongs.
Okay, so you want to wait. So you want to wait till week 1 for Aaron Rodgers to have some cohesion with this receiver, for him to know that this receiver can't get open.
They don't already have cohesion by now, and by the time the season starts, yeah, it's not gonna matter. And those preseason snaps weren't gonna matter, man. They've worked this out, or they haven't already. I'm hoping Joe Burrow doesn't plays 0 preseason games, man. 0 snaps. This dude actually had an appendectomy. Like, what are you trying to prove out here, man? Trying to get out here to get some extra reps with Jamar Chase and Higgins and your tight end? It's like, no.
Yeah, Higgins and the tight end, maybe so. Man, yes.
Get out of here.
Maybe lead.
Cam. Cam, you're one of them coaches that you just can't get enough practice, huh, Cam? You just can't practice long enough, huh, Cam? What are you doing at 2:30 in the morning, man? You should be getting some more reps in.
At least mental reps. At least some mental reps in the game.
Man, even there's no basketball out there, huh? Even there's no football, just pretend, huh? Just run the route.
Just think about it again. Visualize it.
Just do it again. Just do it again, huh, Cam? Just do it again.
I'm glad you know you're not getting away with coming over here pussyfooting, thinking it's gonna be a light practice.
Just do it again.
The
Just do
game's
it
gonna
again.
start.
You haven't
The
done it
game's gonna
enough
start till
times.
September.
You haven't done it enough times. You can always do it again. You can always get better.
We can always get better. That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We can always get better.
There's no end to how long practice can last.
I mean, so what do you do? You can hit 90 balls, and that's it? You hit 90 balls and hit it in the square, serve it 90 times, that's it, and walk away, you're done? Or do you go work on your backhand? Or do you go work on the baseline shots? Or do you go work on the shots at the net? What do? Do you just hit 90, go out there for 90 serves, and that's it? You're done, walk away? Or do you work on the other parts of the game?
You're not playing 5-set matches in practice just to practice playing a 5-set match. You know what I'm saying? You don't just practice for the sake of practicing, and that's what you want to do. That's why certain players, they kind of they sour on that type of coaching philosophy because it's not necessary.
Certain players. Do you have some players in mind?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers doesn't believe in that, and I'm pretty sure his coach doesn't either. But I mean, if he was playing for Belichick and just continue to have him running, quarters,
he would have more than one championship. He would have more than one championship if he played for Belichick. Yes, exactly right. Would you continue?
Because he wants you to practice all the time.
Continue.
Yeah, okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
I don't know. I mean, how'd it work out for Cornell? How'd it work out for Charlie Weiss? How'd it work out for Patricia? How'd it work out for McDaniels? How'd it work out for Haley?
Who are those guys? Who are those guys?
Well, they're all Belichick disciples. I mean, they're all trying to preach the same philosophy.
This guy.
Sean McVay kind of understands. Hey, man, yeah, you've thrown enough, man. Yeah, no, you know what? Matt Stafford, why don't you sit this one out, dude? Till you're ready to go. What is the point of having you throwing it out here in practice for who? To prove what?
All right, this is going to be bad radio. I admit that. I know that. But I want Cleavon to hear this. So, Cleavon, tell the people how wrong you are in regards to. I don't think you understand how wrong you are. When you say they don't need to practice, they don't need time. Cleveland, you got to hear this. So this is going to tickle you. This is going to tickle you to death. It will. I'm actually kind of nervous to share this with you. Come on. I'm actually kind of nervous to share this with you. Where's my media though? Where's my thing? I know it's fans. I know this is terrible. I like to be prepared, but this just happened earlier this morning, and we got in a conversation. It's a continuous conversation that we had about this that Cleveland just can't seem to grasp. So I'm trying to help him to understand the meaning of teamwork, the meaning of working together, the meaning of continuity, the meaning of having to come together to make something happen. I'm not sure Cleveland grasps that because he's a tennis player. And the tennis players didn't have teammates. They didn't have to rely on their partner, in the fourth quarter when things get tough. So I'm not sure Cleveland grasps that what I'm talking about. I got plenty of Lombardi quotes, man. I got Lombardi quotes. I got quotes, man. I'm a quote man. But see how when we start talking about real football, how Cleveland tenses up and he doesn't like that. He likes to talk about the fantasy football. We're going to get to your fantasy football conversation. I promise you, we're going to get to that fantasy football conversation. But yes, Ninja. Ninja asked for that. He asked about that. He asked about that. Yes, I didn't bring that up. He asked about that. Now, you and Ninja can have your little conversation. You can tell him how the Lombardi quote will tell Cleveland to get his ass up and work hard right now. Yeah, I told you I do, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. But what I'm trying to tell Cleveland right now is there's a soundbite, fans, and I know it's bad radio. I know I'm not prepared for this. But I'm trying to see how quickly I can get to this. and play this because I want Cleveland to hear this, and then Cleveland's going to be tickled by it. Uh-oh. Well, you can't hear that. You can't hear that, right, Cleveland? You can't. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Good. That's even better. So I talked to with the clip. I'll give you a background, and I'm listening to it now. But I'll give you a background. The clip is I'm talking to a high school coach in Alabama, and we get to the conversation. I'm asking him.
The whole group. I was talking to her group of friends, so it was like an integrated group of friends. We didn't know she was. We didn't know.
I asked him
so
why this team went from 6A to 7A, and he's telling me about the players and the lineage there. But then he said something that you would love. Okay, I got it. All right, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, man, but I got this sound. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But let me try this out, fans. Let me try this out. I don't want to add him to the screen. All right, fans. Can you hear that, Cleveland?
Yeah, well, a lot of that has to do, like I said, with the kids.
Yes.
And
Okay. All right, listen close, Cleveland. This is for you. This is only for you, Cleveland. And thank you, fans, for
the way they
participating.
approach, and then
This is only for
our
this is
non-region
specifically
schedule
for
has
you.
been where
I'm
they
asking him
struggle, but part of
about
the struggle is the fact
the continuity of the teams. Why the teams have consistently
in
been
Phoenix
good.
City, and then over in Georgia, Callaway, who won a state championship back in 2020, and then I think they've been in the semifinals over there like 6 straight years.
Okay. So, like I said, you have pretty good record initially, 72% winning percentage in your first 50 games. What would you attribute that to most, outside of the players? I see you've been trying to be modest and give your talent a lot of credit, but well, you have to have some input in that. What would you attribute that to? Your winning record.
Yeah, well, first, any coach that tells you that they're the important part is completely lying. It's all about players, no matter the level, whether it's high school or I think you said I've heard you covered the Chargers.
All right, that was it. Did you hear it, Cleveland?
I heard it. Man, did you hear it?
I loved it. I thought that was funny.
Cam, did you hear it? God.
So okay, why is that so? Why Cleveland? Why is that so?
I've been saying that for a decade. You don't listen. God.
What do you mean? You've been saying what? You've been saying what?
It's not about your scheme. It's about the players executing your scheme. Damn. You got to go to some high school coach in Alabama to probably turn you around. Been saying that for a decade.
Do you feel vindicated now?
Yeah. Act like I was just making it up. No.
I knew you would love that. You heard it though, right? You heard it.
I heard it.
I knew you would love it.
I heard it. Yeah. Yeah. It's about the players.
Yeah. Man, he said it's about the players. I think he was being modest though. In all seriousness, you heard me say that.
No, he wasn't.
He was being a little modest.
He understands that when you got the Kansas Comet or the Gray Ghost or the Fearsome Foursome, it's different, man, than just some linemen. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing.
Cleveland I don't know what else could. The only thing better could happen to Cleveland is him and Coco could have hit the Powerball tonight. That's the only thing that better could happen for Cleveland on this show. He loves it. So you disagree with Rodgers?
No, I agree with Rodgers that
okay?
preseason games at his level of
But how do
experience
okay? But
don't mean a lot.
is his receiver at his level, Cleveland?
They stay up to like 5, 6, 7.
Him playing in the preseason game is not going to those 5 times he might throw a pass to him is not going to change whether or not he's ready for week 1. It's not going to make any difference.
So so you just wait till week 1 to see if we're ready to compete. How do you get better if you don't play against other talent, other games? How do you get better?
In practice.
But you're killing your practice guys. You've been killing them for 3 weeks. You don't want to see what you can do in a game?
Sure, with the other quarterback, not with Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, they don't. There's nothing to gain from that. Your 4 or 5 reps that you're talking about. Again, you're someone, Cam, that doesn't think that you can ever practice enough. You run your players into the ground. I mean, you'll be out there having them running wind sprints, in 100-degree heat. Just because.
We're definitely doing one sprint.
Just because I want you to be tougher.
Yeah, we want you to be in shape. That's right. We want you to be prepared for the fourth quarter. That's right. That's exactly right. You understand it. See, I don't know if they had that type of intense training in tennis. I don't know that they had that type of intense training in the programs you guys went to at Newport High School.
Well, it just depends, Cam. I mean, certainly not fanatical enough to try and bring your 20-year 3-time MVP and all that. That's just not. It's not necessary. There's all kinds of new, different kind of training regiments now. Players train all year round. Yeah, it's a different thing, bro.
Yeah,
you need to move into the new millennium. Okay.
Your guy talked about doing listening to
having the
2-a-days.
Having the 2-a-days in the heat with no water just to make it tougher. And yeah.
I wonder how that worked out for Tampa. How'd that work out for Tampa? Just saying. Yeah, just saying. How'd that work out for Tampa? Okay. So, and speaking of Tampa and the Dolphins had their joint practice today. And Tua, after the practice, said he conceded the loss to Brady in practice. You conceding the loss?
Well, I mean, Cam, it's not as bad as, hey, there's no pressure on us to win. Like it doesn't really matter, whether we win or lose. It's how we play the game. It's not that. It wasn't those type of sentiments. It's just like, okay, well, the goal got me today in practice. Got to work on some things.
I like how you try to twist that up. I like how you tried to twist that up. But nobody's buying that crap, Cleveland. There's no really comparison right there. But I like how you try to bring one quarterback, the number 6 quarterback in the draft versus number 5 quarterback. I like how you try to create that divide there.
There's no divide. I'm just saying it's not, it's not as disappointing as saying you don't really care if you win or lose. You just said, like I concede to the greatest quarterback of all time. It's a different thing.
It's a different thing, huh?
Oh my God.
Well, Cleveland, now it's time. Let's do this here, buddy. It might be too early for this, but let's get this on paper right now. Now we're going to go division, and identify division winners right now. Are you ready to do that? Division winners. We're not talking about playoff winners. We're talking about Super Bowl winners. We're going division winners.
It's a bit premature, but I'll put my best foot forward.
A bit premature. When you want to wait? Would you want to wait till Labor Day to start making picks?
Third preseason game.
Yeah, that's typical. But we're barring injury, of course. We're going to look at all these. What's going down in the NFL?
Okay, let's do it that way then.
But I'm like, let me be a little cooler.
What do you mean? What way? Is there another way you want to do it?
8 miles, rapid run.
Yeah, as opposed to waiting to see what happens with regards to injury and suspensions and things of that nature. Let's just go right now and see what's going on.
I'm glad you're ready to go. So in the AFC East, who you got winning the AFC East?
Buffalo Bills.
Now, you just want to call out winners, or do you want to go, or you want to go through the division? What you want to do?
I thought we were just doing. Let's just do the winners.
Okay, so I'm scribing this as you go, so forgive me.
But then you like actually put this stuff, and then I totally botched that.
Ninja, when did you doing some gut busters? When was you doing that, Ninja? Let the people know. The people want to know.
He already knows, man. He already knows they're unnecessary for 42-year-old quarterbacks. Ain't that right, Ninja?
But there are other
that have Super Bowl victories and MVP trophies in their house.
But those veteran quarterbacks are playing with.
But you're just getting reps, you know.
They're playing with other guys, though. I mean, what don't you understand?
And you're practicing with your guys more times. Yeah.
What don't you understand?
What don't you understand, Cam, about veteran leadership and what veterans are putting their body through?
Veterans are putting their body through? What are you talking about?
Oh, like acapella?
Preseason is for younger players. It's not for veterans. But again, the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills.
So this is the same guy who said the NBA is having with their they call it the NBA preseason glorified scrimmage. Like, when do you get better? Like, that's what I would like to know from Cleveland. When do you get better? Let's see if Cleveland can answer that question for me.
You get better in practice. You get better in games. The preseason games.
How do you get better? You don't get better. How do you get better in games if you don't play the games?
Cam, again, you don't get this part, man. I'm talking about for younger players. For older players, there is no benefit to those things. Understand?
So you just young players that need to play with the older players. So you just never mind the fact, ignore the total fact that those older players that you're mentioning will need to play with those younger players, right? So let me ask you a question. Maybe
again, Cam, if it was up to you, they would be practicing until 6 o'clock in the morning, taking a 15-minute nap, and then practicing some more.
So let me ask you a question. In all seriousness, maybe I don't understand the tennis world, and maybe some of our fans don't understand life in training for tennis. Are there mentors in tennis? Do you have mentors? Were there anybody that helped you showed you how to get better, or you just out there on your own and you just doing your do all by yourself?
No, there were mentors, coaches, peers that you look up to and practice with. Yeah.
There were that you did practice with. Oh, so you could learn something from somebody else during practice, during your training session, if you will.
Sure.
Oh, really? Okay. So do you think if you playing tennis can learn something from one of your peers, one of your mentors during the training session, that maybe one of the rookies can learn something from Aaron Rodgers about being a professional?
So I think that 5 hours of practice when you're 20 versus 5 hours of practice when you're 40 is significantly different. Even if there's someone that's 20 that's practicing with the 40-year-old that could maybe learn a thing or two, maybe. But they probably should have picked that up in practice because we went over that.
Okay. So AFC North, who you got winning that division? Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, or Baltimore Ravens?
Cincinnati.
You got the Bengals. You're a believer, and now you want to believe in Burrow.
Been a believer in Joe B since the beginning.
Huh?
Been a believer in Joe B since day one.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Stop it. You was
day
one
one.
all along. AFC West, Kansas City, Vegas, the Chargers, and the Broncos.
Chargers.
What?
Chargers.
What? Can you say that again? Say that again for the people in the back.
Chargers.
Whoa, fans. Ninja. He must be your family members. He must be one of your family. I'm convinced now. I'm officially convinced because that's what they have coaches for. Because the players can't coach each other up, huh, Ninja? The players don't talk to each other on the sideline, Ninja. So Bosa and Khalil Mack will never have a conversation on the sideline that either one of them gets better from. Huh, Ninja? Is that what you're telling me?
No, Cam. He's telling you don't have to practice 100 hours to get that same type of chemistry that you're looking for. It can come faster if there's coach involvement and you study film and.
Oh, now the coaches are important. Now the coaches are important. You just yelled at me when I played the sound bite, and that how you were telling me it's all talent matters.
Coaches have a role, and this is part of what their role is.
Oh, now they got a role. Now the coaches have a role. So funny to me. Now we established the coaches have a role on the team. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Your AFC South. Who's going to win this division? The coaches have a role.
The Indianapolis Colts.
You two are too much for me. You two are too much for me.
Yeah. We're on the same page. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back to this here. I'm gonna go back to this right here. I'm just gonna leave that one up right there. How about that? I'm gonna just leave that one up. How about that? So he said the Chargers and the Colts. Okay, the Colts. He been busting Brandon Staley and Herbert's ass for the last 9 months, and now he actually.
I have, and fans. Here's a little bit of insight as to why I picked them. I look at their schedule. It looks like they're playing against the Pac-12. I think they should run roughshod through that.
Whoa.
And Russell Wilson's number one receiver went down with a torn ACL. So
who went down with a torn ACL?
Patrick went down. Tim Patrick.
He's done for the season? I don't know that Patrick was going to take him.
Led the team in touchdowns last year.
I don't know that he was going to take him to the.
Led the team in touchdowns last year. So your leading touchdown maker is gone.
With what, 6 or 7?
I think it was more like 10, 11, but okay.
Come on. We're not talking about your guy from the Steelers, like 15 or 16. I know we're not talking about that.
Okay, well, it was a combination of the schedule and, the other teams having some injury issues.
Oh, so you got them winning by default. It's like not outright winning, not outright kind of being better.
And if they don't win this division, Cam, oh man, I don't want to hear nothing about them.
Oh, he got them winning by default. Tim Patrick, how many? Again, 5 TDs last season. 5. Exactly what I thought. Exactly what I thought. Non-factor. But I don't have them. I don't have them being. I have them 4th in the division. So when you look at AFC West, who you got?
AFC West, Chargers.
NFC West.
NFC West. NFC West, I have the Los Angeles Rams.
NFC South.
NFC South, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You got the Bucs. NFC North.
NFC North, I have the Green Bay Packers.
The Pack doing it again. So you're not moved by the Lions and you're not moved by the Lions and Hard Knocks. NFC East.
Dallas Cowboys.
You got the Cowboys winning. Well, I disagree with you. So Cleveland. Let me do this real quickly. Just let you know what I got right here. And this is CW Clevie Wonder. That's your picks, and then my picks are going to go right underneath there. Winning the AFC West, I got the Chiefs winning the division still. I think the Chiefs are still going to win that division. NFC West, I got the Rams. Yeah, I think that's pretty easy. That division is pretty. Even though they play each other tough, it's a pretty sorry division actually. NFC South, another sorry division. By default, the Bucks do win that division because nobody's in that division. I don't think the Saints can contend with them. I don't think the Saints can contend. NFC North, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit. It's going to be the Packers. I have to agree with you. I don't see much movement from there in that division. NFC East, I got the Eagles winning that division. I'm not sure what you see in the Cowboys. I got the Eagles winning that division.
Okay.
So there we go.
You want more water?
Please, thank you. So that's how that shakes out, and we'll do winners later. As far as the AFC South, jeez, I don't have no faith in Tennessee. You know why? Houston ain't gonna do nothing. Jacksonville ain't gonna do nothing. The Colts, kind of by default. Cleveland, that was a good pick. Colts by default in that one. The Bengals are the Bengals better than the Ravens? When you think Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, are the Bengals better because of the quarterback?
Yeah.
Man, that's hard to argue, Cleveland. I can't argue that, especially because Joe knows a good interview when he sees one. And the AFC East.
You adopted one, didn't you? No. You didn't qualify?
She did.
The Jets can't win this division. A few things have to break right for the Dolphins to win this division. The Patriots,
One of them is for sure.
are they ready to dethrone the Bills?
I think that's
Baltimore over Cincinnati? I want to go Baltimore, but as I said, I mean, it just came down to the Burrow's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Therefore, everything else being equal, the Bengals win that division. I'm not ready to say the Bills are going to win this division. I think the Bills have a regress here. The Bills take a step back, but I'm not confident in my man, the young quarterback, Mac Jones, leading the Patriots to a win. I'm not confident in that, and I don't think Tua is ready to take that leap right now. So
you're not really saying anything other than the Buffalo Bills will win the division.
Just
like I said.
So by default, the Bills win the division.
Okay, cool.
So we agree on 6 of the 8 divisions. We don't agree on AFC West. Surprisingly, you have the Chargers. So that's so surprising, fans. We knew how this guy bashed the Chargers for 9 straight months.
Till I saw their schedule and saw some of the other injuries that were taking place within the division. And, you want to go with Jalen Hurts and
I'm going with Jalen Hurts. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. They got a wealth of talent. They got a wealth of talent.
I'm so sorry. Who's the $25 million receiver they picked up from the Titans?
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. Right.
Yeah.
He's going to be the difference.
He's going to be what?
He's going to be the difference. I can feel it. A.J. Brown.
So, again.
They turn it around in the division.
Again, where you want to continuity, teamwork, and learning from each other, playing with each other. A.J. Brown being able to coach the former Heisman winner, Devontae Smith, is only going to make Devontae Smith better. But again, Cleveland wouldn't know that, fans, because he wants to poo-poo any camaraderie that goes on the field. He doesn't think there's any importance to that. But again, another example of that is
Didn't say that, fans. I didn't say you don't have to practice 17 hours a day to get that. That's what I said.
Or you don't want to play in the games. If you don't want to suit up for games, when do you want to suit up? Like, it's game time. We suiting up and we're playing. Cleveland says, "Oh no, let's rest." But fans, let's rest is not that important.
I mean, the Hall of Fame game on July the 31st is not the same thing as September the 19th. Okay. The sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be, my dude. It's not the same type of intensity. It's not the same type of activity. It's not the same thing.
Fans, let's move on here. I got some more work to do with Cleveland. His stubbornness is showing right now, and I want to get Cleveland off the horn, away from this topic now. So, Cleveland, let's take a little break here. You need 30?
I need 30. I'll be right back.
Yep.
More like end game dudes. Sure. Yeah, you hang out with someone with a purpose in mind. You just said it. You're like, three is the ideal number. Three on deck. I guess I'm hanging out with them for a purpose.
What's good? What's good? What's good? All right, fans. Each and every week we do our This Week in History. So we're going to reflect on some things that happened in society. Voting rights bill signed by President Lyndon Johnson. This is 1965, August 10th. August 10th, 1936, Cleveland, Jesse Owens won his 4 gold medals that night. August 9th, 1965, that's the day before the voting rights got signed. The whites riots in southeast Los Angeles started. Thank you. I don't know what you remember that, but that started because of police violence beat up a guy once he pulled him over. Excuse me, man. In 1922, dedication of Frederick Douglass's home in Washington, D.C. as a national shrine declaration was signed. Back in 1922, make his home a national shrine. August 13, 1892, the first issue of Baltimore Afro-American newspaper was issued. 1892. 1981, Cleveland, a little closer to your date, August 10th. On this day, 1981, Pete Rose hit a single, and broke the National League all-time hit record with his 3,630th hit. So there you go. This week in history. Brittany Griner, Cleveland. She was now they're in negotiation to with her or the Doctor Death or what is the what's his name the medieval or death or whatever this guy's name is.
Whatever that dude's name is, yeah, the Russian cold cat that shouldn't be let out of prison. That dude.
Do you? I mean, but Brittany Griner, do you just say sorry, Brittany? I mean,
No, that's the price you pay.
yeah, you say go ahead and send it. When do you bring Brittany home for Thanksgiving? Is that when you do this?
No, man, it's not a Disney movie, man. You bring her home as soon as you can. It doesn't have to be like a holiday, man. It can just be like a random day. You just get her out of Russia.
Speaking of tennis, possibly the largest star in tennis, possibly ever. It says she's going to retire after the U.S. Open. So, what's your thoughts on Serena? I see you need a moment, man. You need a moment to wipe a tear away from your eye. What do you think about Serena?
No, we knew this time was coming. Unfortunately, her body is betraying her a little bit, and she's getting a little older in age, and competition is such that it's going to be more and more difficult for her to win. So I think her timing is excellent. It's a good time
How can you say? How can you say?
exercise.
I know you're using a phrase that you've heard 1,000 times, but you can't say the body is betraying her when the body led her to 23 Grand Slam titles. I mean, most people would like to fail up to 23 pro tennis titles, wouldn't they?
Certainly, Cameron. What I'm saying is that at 38 years old and in 2022, she has injuries that she's never had before and won't be able to play a meaningful schedule ever again.
What do you think about the Big Ten media deal? First of all, where's the pack? Where's the Huskies in this deal? And this whole Pac-12, are they staying in the Pac-8? Is it going to be the Pac-8?
They're in limbo. The musical chairs have kind of come to a screeching halt, and there's no open spaces. I have no idea what the future of the University of Washington holds.
So they might be in the Big Sky for all we know.
Couldn't even begin to speculate. Maybe some of those Big Sky teams have to merge. No idea.
I mean, as a alum, I use that comment loosely. I mean, what do you think of this Pac-10? How do you feel about this? Obviously, this is
when you see LA and USC jumped, the next two teams that wanted to jump were UW and Oregon. Big Ten said, "Hey, let's wait and see what's going to happen."
We're good. We're good.
And then they brought Oregon, quite possibly Dame, but UW was kind of left out in the cold on that one.
Wow. So the Huskies is going to be all by themselves up in the Northwest in the Pac-6, the big dogs in the Pac-6.
Theoretically, there's still 9 teams that remain in the Pac-12. You would just have to get 3 additional teams.
San Diego State.
Man, not ready to really talk about like what those other alternatives would be just yet.
UNLV. I mean, that's all you got. Is UNLV. You want somebody in LA? You're gonna bring in Pepperdine.
Potential Boise State. Potential. Yeah, I don't know.
You Pepperdine. You're gonna have to do something here in LA.
Might have to be a Fresno State type. We're not sure. I'm not the Pac-10 commissioner, so I can only speculate so far.
Was at the Pac-10 media day a couple weekends ago. It feels like a couple weekends ago. When was it? Was that last week? No, it wasn't last week. It was a couple weekends ago. And he was pretty confident that there's life at the end of this tunnel here. We'll see how things transpire. But the Big Ten gets a hell of a deal. They signed Fox is already their national provider, their big time provider. But then the deal with CBS and NBC kind of so they get coverage all throughout the day, early morning with Fox, midday with NBC, and then late with CBS. So that gives them a lot of flexibility. The Big Ten is going to be huge now.
We'll see.
Oh, so there's some saltiness there. There's some saltiness there. So. We ready for your fantasy sleepers, your QBs, and your defense? We can talk about that next week, man. You want to give let's go for the Mariners minute. Your Mariners are 62 or 61 and 52, 11 and a half games back of the division lead, 5-5 for the last 10 games, but they're in a hunt. Go ahead and give your Mariners minute.
Oh, hey, thanks, Cam. I appreciate it. So actually, what Cam's not telling you is that they're only a half a game ahead of the number one wild card spot, a game in front of this third place wild card team. They've been able to do all of this without Julio Rodriguez missing the last 10 games, which has been remarkable. Pitching has been fantastic. Defense has been stellar as always. They are the number one team in the league with one-run victories. Things looking up. They're getting healthier. They're starting to get their lineup, kind of where they want it to be. And happy that they were able to beat the Yankees 2 out of 3 this time. They were 2-2 in the Bronx last week. And as the schedule continues to ease up, they have the easiest schedule going forward. They
got the easiest schedule. So they're just taking advantage of some chumps.
No. I said going forward. You probably missed that part where I said they split with the Yankees last week and then won 2 out of 3 just recently, yesterday and today, actually. So they beat the number one team in the American League. So yeah, they're in a good position. Again, they're young superstars,
and they're looking for this cushy schedules, as you put it.
Well, I mean, they didn't write the schedule, Cam. They just play the teams that are in front of them. So.
Here we go. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting that you would bring that up, man. The kudos to them for doing what they're doing. Kudos to the Mariners, though, for being above 500 this late in the season. We have to go back in the almanac to see when they've been over 500 this late in the season in August. Who knows? Cleveland, you was
they were over 500 this late in the season last year, Cam, but that's okay.
No, stop it. They weren't. Stop it. You cut it out. Coco wasn't around when the last time that happened. But fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, fans, I really appreciate you guys for hanging in there. The show was kind of sloppy, kind of botchy. I wasn't prepared fully, but I think I was able to bring you guys some pretty good content, even though we weren't prepared initially. Cleveland brought up the good content with the beef between DeJounte Murray and Paulo. Like, we don't know what happened. DeJounte, he didn't like O'Day or Golden holy names, huh? He was on the other side of town.
Virginia Beach, that South End came out.
He was on the other side of town. So that's interesting. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. Thank you guys for tuning into the show, though. I think I brought you some quality content. Cleveland got somebody to vindicate him. He doesn't even know he got somebody was able to vindicate what he said.
Ninja knows.
He wasn't talking about Ninja, but Ninja. Thanks for tuning in, Ninja. We'll talk to you next week, big guy. Appreciate you tuning in and having some fun with us. But we got a coach that Cleveland had never heard of to agree with them, and that just tickled his fancy. But we're going to leave you guys with this quote. Here's the quote you were looking for. This is actually from Pat Riley, Ninja. There are only two options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. There's no such thing as in between. No such thing as in between, Cleveland. So don't try to be wishy-washy. Is Tua going to make week 6 or is he not going to make week 6? I say, what do you say, Cleveland?
I'll make week 6, yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't think he's going to be the starter after week 6. So that's my opinion, and and you know it. You've heard it for the last 3 years now. And fans, I want to thank you again for being a part of the show. Thank you for your contribution. You want to be a part of the show? You got a comment? You want to give us some feedbacks, comments, criticisms? Go ahead and reach out to us at @ Voice of the Fans Podcast, @ Voice of the Fans Show. Voice of the Fans Show. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in, Cleveland. Thank you for your participation, fans, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
As always, bro.
Later.